Own up, come on, come forward, you're not going to get into trouble, but who snuck the drugs into WWE's mouth? Because this Raw was totally nuts. Also, hello my friends, welcome to Ups and Downs, the only wrestling review show you need because we are Positive Pete's and we give the good things up and we give the bad things down. It's as simple as that. Maybe you're bald, maybe you have hair, maybe you have love in your heart, or maybe you have hate. We cater for all individuals on this stupid show. So let's go, my friends. My name is Simon Miller. I got that completely the wrong way round. Boy, howdy, do we start all controversial this week too, although I am going to be a little bit of a nerd. Can WWE just stop talking about the brand split or separate rosters on Raw or SmackDown? Because they just muck around with it whenever they want anyway, and I'm a massive fan of that. Because Raw begins the red brand, and out comes John Cena, who we keep being told is a SmackDown champion. But listen, of course you want to see John Cena on Monday nights. Let's just move it to one side, no more drafts or anything like that. And let's just get on with it. He did the Hunter Hearst Helmsley bow to begin, which was very interesting, when he said the truth is a lie. Man, he sounds like a YouTube conspiracy video, but his whole point was, oh man, well, you chanted for our truth, and now he is back, and let's see how you treat him in a year when you remember he's nothing more than a comedy sideshow. John, I don't really think that one works. Did you see how we reacted after he got rid of once? If they do it again, I tell you we will storm the castle. He then called us all keyboard warriors as we went back to John Cena's remaining dates calculator thingamajig, and he said, look, I've only got 19 left, and you want me to waste them on someone like Ron Killings? Actually doesn't matter anyway, because Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, if somebody calls himself the best, I have beaten them, because I am the best, and they suck, and Cody Rhodes sucks, and everybody sucks. There was the magic word as well, because out came CM Punk, because I'm pretty sure he wants people to call him the best, and he got right in John Cena's face, and of course the crowd was electric for this, because they have an all-time feud, and he was like, the irony here. Mr. Sports Entertainment said he wants to kill wrestling, whereas the punk rock kid is here to save it. But I'm not here to say it for management, I'm not here to say it for the powers that be, I'm not here to say it for TKO, which is an interesting reference. I am here to save it for the fans. And that's another reason that John is wrong too, because he didn't beat the best. Cody is the best of us and you had to cheat to win. And also, I ain't like you, Cena. I am not gonna kiss the final boss's ass. Of course, he was talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Don't think John Cena has to worry about that. The Rock's never here. It is CM Punk's job, though, to give the people what they want, and if they want the truth, they're going to get Ron Killings, which is such a good line, especially given what Ron told us later. And it's also time to remind John Cena he is nothing more than a spoke on a wheel. And also, let's go back to the Elimination Chamber. After Seth Rollins had stomped CM Punk's head into a mat, and John Cena had applied the STFU, he was all like, oh, I'm sorry, CM Punk, which we now know was a bunch of baloney. So John Cena is one big lie. It also means after all this is done, John Cena is going to have to spend the rest of his days apologizing for what he's done. Although Punk understands it is the WWE title. Let's go back in time. There was an occasion too when CM Punk was the champion, and do you know what this inanimate object did? It corrupted me, and now it's corrupted you too. So essentially they both become Venom. It has reminded Punk though that if you want to be the monster, you have to face the monster and then become the monster, and that's why he has decided he is happy to walk that tightrope. So Mr. John Cena, I am challenging you for that there title. And given that you do have 19 days left, you can pick the occasion. But if I were you, and I'm not you, because I'm me, CM Punk, although I'm also Simon Miller doing this show, I would challenge you tonight. And of course, John Cena, being the heel, went, ha ha, no. Instead, Cena had a much better idea. And he said, if you do want this title shot, because I am down, maybe you should follow me to Saudi Arabia. This has now become a meta storyline. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, don't worry about it. But it's not like WWE can say this outright, but at the same time, they're clearly leaning into it. I mean, this basically created a paradox. Now I'm a bit worried we're all going to be dragged into the Phantom Zone. Now, it certainly looked like Punk accepted to me, and WWE did put the graphic up, but we didn't get any further, because Seth Rollins and crew came out just to go, we've got a briefcase, and we're going to burn the whole thing down. You'd have to imagine that's how you get out of CM Punk versus John Cena at Night of Champions. But as always, let's say the catchphrase, we wait and see. Now, there was a lot to unpack here, but as always on Ups and Downs, we are going to stick to the TV portion, and I'm pretty sure 99.9% of us, of course, want to see John Cena versus CM Punk for the WWE title. And given that this has come out of nowhere, I'm going to have to fathom that after SummerSlam, John Cena is going to go face again after he loses to Cody Rhodes, and he's no longer the WWE champion, so we got to get this in there before we get to that point, otherwise it won't work as well, because really, if you are going to do the flipperoo with Punk and Cena, you want Punk as a good guy and Cena as the bad one. There's also a lot of other stuff on Raw as well that made me kind of go, maybe we have hit fast forward here to regenerate interest. But listen, you can go on the internet right now, and from a storyline point of view, and from a real life point of view, everybody is talking about this, and we shall get to the other stuff on other videos, but I am giving it an up. I mean, I love the carnage, I love the chaos, and ultimately, when you do break it down, I always like John Cena versus CM Punk. We then got our King and Queen of the Ring brackets, and the two big takeaways are that Asuka is back next week, so I was doing the Dance of Joy. On the men's side, there is a mystery opponent, a mystery challenger. So I'm telling you, it better be Mr. Iguana, who we also got a video package for on Raw, and we got a video package for Asuka too. I'm a little bit annoyed, because I expect everybody on WWE TV right now to be saying, where's Mr. Iguana? When he's not around, when he is around, everyone looks at him and goes, oh my gosh, it's Mr. Iguana. We went right into Chad Gable versus AJ Styles after this, so of course we got a good match. But this Chad Gable, I tell you, he's not having the best 2025. His win-loss record kind of sucks. Thankfully though, even though we did once again get all the distractions because the Creeds were like, haha, we're going to help out our boss, they totally failed, and ultimately AJ Styles hit the Styles Clash and got the 1-2-3. So between Styles and Will Ospreay, we are re-establishing that as a finishing move. But it also means we finally arrived, my friends. I have flubbed up a lot of other counters this year, and I think it's because they've all been leading to this moment. Brace yourself, maybe put the kids to bed. I'm very sorry, but it's the dick counter. Now, before you get mad, we have talked about this. That is distraction, interference, and confusion the WWE especially is over-relying on right now. So it goes up to 1 because the Creeds did interfere here. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to get in trouble. AJ did smack Julius and Brutus though to get rid of them though. Even though Chad Gable kept going for the ankle lock, he wasn't able to do it when we did get the Styles Clash. And what I really liked is later on, AJ was like, I don't like this guy, I don't like Dominik Mysterio, I don't like Seth Rollins, I don't like Paul Heyman, and I don't like the Judgment Day. And he went off to kick some ass. So he is gonna be involved in everything. I ain't got no problems with that. Really, you should go and watch this match. They are so good together, like fine wine and cheese. It's probably a thing. Roxanne Perez then found Liv Morgan and said, Liv, you won't believe this. We are both in a Queen of the Ring qualifier, so why don't we work together? Because then at least one of us, or the Judgment Day, can go through to the next round. Liv looked at her like, I'm listening to you, but actually deep down in my heart, I have nothing but hate. Now, to be fair to Roxanne, it just means she watches the show and goes, all right, we do need some distractions, interference, or confusion in order to get through. When we got to this qualifier, and look at this, it was Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane. And if some crazy person walked into my house and said, you have to bet your life, this will be a good match, I'm like, listen, puppy, that's no problem. And of course, it kicked ass. And Morgan actually realized that the enemy of the enemy is my friend, and she did team up with Roxanne for a while. So Rhea was like, all right. She increased her MP, and she basically murked both of them. It was really cool, though, because Kairi Sane then came flying with the forearm onto Rhea Ripley, when all of a sudden Liv Morgan was hitting her with a backstabber. And once again, Rhea leveled up. She took them out, so Liv Morgan went for the Oblivion. Rhea went, ha ha, you can't mit me, and she actually got the Riptide. I would say it was pretty early, but it wasn't pretty early. I don't know why I'm tapping my fake watch. So, of course, Rhea Ripley had it won. We had the visual pinfall where Raquel Rodriguez dragged her out of the ring at the 1-2-ooh, and she beat her up. So I do believe that is interference, my friends, and it goes on the dick counter. Really regret doing this, but the 12-year-old immature part of me thinks it's very funny. And listen, all of a sudden, Kairi Sane looked like she was going to take control because she hit the insane elbow onto Liv Morgan. When Roxanne Perez looked around, and she is just a studier of wrestling TV in 2025 because she hit the most devastating move. In all her sports, entertainment surprise roll-up, and she got the 1-2-3. Now, I really did enjoy this because A, the match was really good, but B, Roxanne Perez did not win Money in the Bank, but now it doesn't matter because she just got a huge win on Raw, and hey, maybe she can even go to the finals. I mean, she's doing pretty good on the main roster. She's got the beef. I am giving it an up. This was a good old start. But yes, there's a down in here as well, and this is just to accompany Raw as always, and I am going to keep doing this for all the people that go, Simon, you should stop. I shall never stop. But given that our first two matches did have distraction, interference, and confusion, and we're not done, well, I'm just slapping it down on it. I just do not understand why it's running wild. There's no need. Becky Lynch was then walking into the ring and she totally ignored the fact that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were arguing. And you would do, wouldn't you? They've been breaking up since 1942. And eventually just be like, you just don't need to pay attention to them. They row all of the time. That's kind of what their relationship is based on. We also got a video package for Nikki Bella, who shall be returning, when she was talking to Maxine Dupree and Natalia. And I laughed a little bit. It's like, imagine she doesn't come to the ring and she just wanted to say hello to the Alpha Academy. She also told Io Sky how great she was when Becky Lynch did get to the square circle. She cut the best promo. She was like, man, where's my congratulations? Where's my we deserve it chance? And as for this Intercontinental title, finally, it's getting up to the big leagues because a proper champion has it. That would be me, Becky Lynch, and not that stinky Lyra Valkyria. She also has done it all because she's written books, she's a champion, she's main event of all of these shows. And the only thing that does irk her is after Money in the Bank, she should have been able to go home and celebrate with her hot husband and her child, but instead she was injured because of Lyra Valkyria's attack. She thinks maybe her shoulder got blown out too because Lyra Valkyria raised her hand with too much aggression. I was like, Becky Lynch, you are absolutely great. She also accused Lyra of trying to kill her, so why doesn't she come out here right now and finish the job? And look, Valkyria did storm out looking like a cartoon when from nowhere, Bayley returned to WWE and she attacked Becky Lynch from behind. I was like, well, that's a heel move, you terrible villains. Although then we zoomed in on Lyra's face, I did not think she knew this was going to happen. Now, she still threw Becky back in the ring so Bayley could hit her with the rose plant. And once again, I was doing a boogie woogie, because you can go back and hear me say these words. On Money in the Bank Ups and Downs, I literally said we should continue on the Lyra-Becky feud, and we should throw someone else in there too. So I know what I'm talking about, which is not true. I know, Jack. Shit. I really did enjoy it for that reason though, and Bayley being back on TV is always good, and she has all the justification in the world to go after the IC title, but if we are now going to involve 3 proper superstars, this belt is just going to get better and better and better, and I hope we take what we're doing here and paste it onto the SmackDown Women's US title too. This was really good stuff. As was what came next. I mean, what a 1-2 punch on Raw. Ron Killings is back, man. And this bald a-hole is excited. Now, I did feel instantly warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum because he did reference everything that had gone down the last week. And he said, don't let anybody tell you don't matter. Don't let anybody tell your voices don't matter. You brought me back and now I do stand here. I got a little bit emotional because I realized over the last 7 days, I totally love this dude. I mean, he is an old-timer. He also mentioned the fact that they had listened, that they had understood, and that is why he is standing here right now. He's back for all of you, but also, he's back for me too. And that's when I started to get excited. Because sure, R-Truth can be funny and a little bit too forgiving, but that's not what Ron Killings is all about. Because he feels alive, he's not a gimmick, he's not a sideshow, he's not a lie. And at this point, I'm not entirely sure the audience knew what he was getting at, especially because they were chanting what, but my word did he shut that down well. He essentially threatened to murder them when he produced a pair of scissors. And I kid you not, my friends, this crowd audibly gasped. He then did cut his hair as well, as he said, the truth has set me free. And Ron Killings is back. That's the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And you have to go and watch this and see the look in this man's eye. I think we are going to get one last Ron Killings serious run. And that actually makes me even more excited than what I thought we were going to get a couple of weeks ago. And you want to make this man the WWE champion? I kid you not. You look into my face. I'm being damn serious too. This was just met with a thunderous pop as well. I suppose this is a major recasting, a major repersonality and thing. We are going to change him up. Given that John Cena took shots at him, you have to imagine he can do something with John Cena, and even if he doesn't, give me that Ron Killings of old. There's a reason people do say he's absolutely legendary, because he has been able to play so many different parts, but this is absolutely going to get him up. And even though we had to hit rock bottom to get here, it could be a blessing in disguise. It's something you absolutely need to go and watch right now. The Judgment Day was then in the back and Finn Balor was in troll mode because he was like, does anybody think it's weird that Dominik Mysterio's in the King of the Ring and we're not? So Dom was like, well, we all thought you were going to do good at Money in the Bank, but you didn't. So now I'm taking over. JD McDonough also calmed it right down because he was like, listen, me and Finn can go and win the tag titles. And I was like, well, that's a great plan, but you have tried that time and time again. I want to be that dude, JD McDonagh, but the issue is you keep losing. Roxanne finally broke this down because she was like, maybe everyone should just be happy that I went through. When Liv Morgan walked in, she's like, nobody should be happy here because I didn't win, and if I see any of you smiling, I will be pissed off. And she kind of left the room. And Finn Balor, who is just such a little guy, was like, listen, Dominik, you need to go talk to your girlfriend. I was like, no, man, I've got a match. And he walked off. I really do enjoy this dynamic. And of course, they're going to break up eventually. But the interesting part is who goes babyface and who goes heel, because they kind of change every single week. Seth Rollins and friends are then once again going, whoa, we've got a briefcase, because now they can take over. But because they do want options, Bron Breakker is about to enter the King of the Ring tournament. And if he wins, well, all bases are covered. Breakker then left the room going ruff, ruff, ruff. So he's a very, very strange man. And we did get this qualifier, and it was Bron Breakker versus Penta versus Sami Zayn versus Dominik. I mean, that's an absolutely absurd match. Zayn hit a dive because 2025 nice and early, so Dominik Mysterio followed suit because he's a sheep, when Bron Breakker decided he was going to adjust it just a little bit, because he did his crazy clothesline over Ali the announce table. I tell you, that guy's not human. Sami was then going off because he hit a sunset bomb for a 1-2-ooh, so Penta followed suit and he did one of his own. Then Bron went totally nuts because he was hitting Frankensteiners. This was proper, you go, I go, we all go. When Penta hit a DDT and he got a 1-2-ooh, then they all start fighting again. Well, Dominik actually broke that up because he didn't want WWE's favourite finish to go down, when he also stopped the Blue Thunder Bomb. I was like, well, you may as well do that, otherwise it's a waste of time. But when he went to do his three amigos, on the third one, Sami Zayn turned it into the least devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the Blue Thunder Bomb. Did it work? Of course it didn't. It never does. Penta then flew in with the most awesome Mexican destroyer that already got a 1-2-ooh, as Bron Breakker in the corner started eating his power mushrooms, because he zoomed around the ring and murdered this masked man with the spear. When we got some dick back to put it on the board, it goes up to number 3, although this was actually really cool. LA Knight was here, and he attacked Bron Breakker, and that makes all the sense in the world, because why did LA Knight not win Money in the Bank? Because of Seth Rollins and these morons. So now he's getting his revenge, he's Batman. Also, Tony ruined Dominik, who couldn't handle any of it, and he got thrown into Team the Turnbuckle, as Sami Zayn got the haluva kick, and he pinned him for the 1-2-3. And I'm not kidding you, this feeling went through me instantly. Oh no. Sami Zayn is going to win the King of the Ring. He's going to beat Gunther at SummerSlam. And Seth Rollins is instantly going to cash in on him. And all those chats they had a few months ago are going to come home to roost. And that really would be next level. And listen, the down from earlier also includes this, because again, I give it one a show when it is out of control. Because even though this one with LA Knight was great because I didn't see it coming, we are once again at that stage where every single match on Raw has some dick. Sami Zayn winning, though, is always good, because there was a time where he never won, and he would be someone that we'd all get behind to win at the King of the Ring or at the finals. This is getting it up, and it just ties into how good this Raw was. It was utter fire. This is when we did have that AJ Styles promo, and afterwards we cut to the New Day, who are also talking to Grayson Waller. I was like, man, you just have to leave him be. He's never going to break up with Austin Theory. They are both stuck in a toxic relationship. I am going to throw one last down in here too, though, because the New Day are doing such good work, but they have no teams to feud with. I do not understand how the SmackDown Tag Team division can be so compelling, and on Raw, it's empty. Like, you may as well book a couple of ghosts against the New Day, because then you'd have some invisible people. Then all that means is getting it down. The LA Knight interference then had a major ramification on the story too, because Karrion Kross found Sami Zayn and is like, that's my Sam. I knew you would win if you stopped being the good guy. You accepted LA Knight's help, and now you've gone to the next round. Of course, Sam was like, I don't know what you're talking about, because as we now have learned, if something goes down in a match on Raw, nobody will talk to you backstage. You just have to watch the show afterwards and catch up. Now, Zayn made it very clear that he can win a world championship on his own. He doesn't need any help. And if Karrion doesn't stop this, he's going to be punched in the mouth. I was like, is Kross going to be the guy to interfere? I mean, he could even join Seth Rollins' group. That would be one too many, but you can't count it out, man. There's a very interesting dynamic here. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. Nikki Bella then did walk to the ring, and we kind of all saw this one coming because she did have a big announcement. In July, we are going to get Evolution 2, Electric Boogaloo. But let's face it, given how packed the WWE women's roster is at the moment, that could be absolutely brilliant. Now, she made sure to celebrate all the women that are on the current roster, including Stephanie Bum Bum Bum, I think she called her, but she did not mention Liv Morgan's name. So this was so good. Liv came storming out going, excuse me, I'm the best person here, and you need to say that. And all the crowd cheered to the point they kind of sided with Liv over Nikki Bella. The WWE is going to have to be careful with that. But Morgan did make a great point. She was one of the best in 2014. Nobody else came close. It's not true. Lots of people did come close. The point is she smashed it. She also figured out that Nikki is just jealous of her because not only does she have respect, she has a championship and she has a man. And I think that has to be a reference to Nikki Bella's very difficult divorce. I was a little bit surprised. Now, if I was Nikki, I would have responded, oh, you do have a title. I believe that's the women's tag team title, and yet the women's tag team division seems to be dead, and you're never defending it. Maybe you could tell me about that. You'd be surprised to hear she didn't say that, and instead went, ha ha ha, button my penned, is Dominik Mysterio with you, or is he with Roxanne Perez? I was like, well, look, it's a pretty good shot. I would have gone with a women's tag team line. Nikki then went to leave the ring when Liv Morgan went, you're a crappy wrestler, and you're just a reality TV star. And apparently that was too much for Bella, who got back in the ring, so I was howling, especially because Liv Morgan then laid her out with the Oblivion, and everybody cheered. And I was like, Kansas, we are not in Toto anymore. I got the saying wrong. I just kind of think you probably could have ignored that line. It's not that much of an insult. Oh, you're rich and you got to star in a TV show. But we have basically told you that at Evolution, one of the matches is going to be Liv Morgan versus Nikki Bella. And I don't hate it, my buds. In fact, I think it will be pretty damn good. I really do think the WWE could send a message with this show as well, because it does have so much potential. And who knows who else they are going to bring back. I am going to give it an up. I mean, it was a little bit all over the place, but I just enjoyed the dynamic. And when Liv Morgan is allowed to spit fire, she becomes a dragon. When we did indeed get to the main event, and to sum it up in headline form, this is exactly the thing that week-to-week pro wrestling that doesn't have an off-season needs to do. Because much like any kind of TV show, any kind of episode, any kind of series you are going to watch, every now and then you just need to walk away and go, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming, because it hooks into your veins and makes you want to tune in next week. So it was Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship, and Triple H decided, let's cause some carnage. And at the end of this too, because spoiler, Jey Uso did lose, I felt my heart sink, but that's good pro wrestling too. Sometimes you want to see the hero win, but sometimes you do want to be sad in your tootsie toes, because tragedy, I mean, that's entertainment too, and it's also a very catchy song. And Jey went for the sleeper early on because somebody had forgotten to tell him you have to charge your meters first, so Gunther came back and tried to choke him out, so we were essentially saying whoever can lock this on properly, well, they're going to win. The issue was, I think Gunther did get hours of sleep, so it was never going to work. The story then came into play too, because Jey hit a crossbody onto Gunther, but he went, oh no, my tum-tum hurts, because what have we been talking about, or Gunther has been talking about, for the last few weeks? You do too much, Jey, you're helping out your friends, you're not focusing on that championship, and you're going to be injured. And he was. You won't believe this either. Gunther tried to remove his t-shirt to get more shots to the stomach area. I mean, we all know how much fabric is in a t-shirt. It was essentially acting as a shield. He then started German suplexing Jey Uso, and even when he tried to come back with a hip attack, he wasn't able to do it. And for a good while, he was getting his ass kicked here, and I'm sure all of us had the fear. But he's never going to lose. And he did. Jey then came back with a dive because 2025, when he also got backdropped into Barry Barricade. And the most terrifying part is he did get the spear, and he did get the Uso splash, and Gunther still kicked out the 1-2 ooh. Then my brain was doing all kind of things. It was 2 + 2 equals potato. I really didn't know what we were going to do. That's the Jeopardy, my friends, and that's a home run. Gunther also wrecked him with a bomb of power and hit a spear of his own, because once again he was going after the tum-tum when we went back into the sleeper. Now listen, we really milked this, because Jey Uso fought out of it and he applied a sleeper of his own when Gunther reversed that too, and they were elbowing each other in the face, and we zoomed right into Jey Uso's face here. And at one point, looked like he couldn't breathe. So once again, you probably started to get scared. This is our guy, man. What's he gonna do? By one stage as well, Jey had been in this move since 1942, when I think the message got to his brain, listen bro, if you don't do something soon, I am gonna pass out. And he did, and a referee saw him, and he called it, and Gunther is a 2-time world heavyweight champion. And this crowd was stunned into silence. So was I, which makes no sense because I was silent anyway. I was watching this by myself. But you have to give props to everybody here. We all know how great Gunther is, but Jey Uso's sell job as the babyface in peril, don't you come and tell me he doesn't know what he's doing. That guy ruled, so did this. And I tell you, it hit me like an arrow. There's also an extra to this because there was no dick here. I really have to come up with a new phrase for that. Gunther won because on this night he was the better man, and this is why it's so powerful, because Jey Uso still has a storyline reason lost. He had beaten himself up too much over the last few weeks, so his HP was too low, and Gunther was able to take advantage of that. So in many ways, the heel was right. When you are the champ, maybe you just have to focus on that. Jey's son also checked on him too, so I was just dying. So this was a phenomenal main event, again, that was just a winner versus a loser, and a loser versus a winner. And now what do? We talk about the Sami Zayn stuff and the Seth Rollins stuff. Is that going to tie in? What does Jey Uso do? He's going to want to get his championship back. This is a massive round of applause. It gets a massive up. And I would tell you to go and watch it, and you should do that. But I really hope you've watched it already, because experiencing that without knowing it was some tremendous pro wrestling sports entertainment stuff. There's actually an extra caveat here too, because if it is Gunther that loses that title because of Money in the Bank shenanigans when he tries to stay away from all of that, well, I could talk about this till the cows come home. A good bit of business. It also means I have to tune in next week, given everything that did happen. I am giving this Raw a golden up. It was miles above some of the content we have had recently. So just to say it one last time, if you do have 2 hours and 40 minutes today, sit down and check it out. Otherwise, my friends, please do leave me a comment below and let me know your feelings about Monday Night Raw. Maybe you hated it, which is totally fine. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is ups and downs for Money in the Bank. I'd appreciate all the support. Otherwise, have a terrific day. We sort of get a day off tomorrow, but not really because NXT is on. Hopefully with Mr. Iguana. I'll see you soon.